It is the hottest summer Britain has ever recorded. The shops have sold out of anything that moves air, and millions of panicked, sweating people are about to spend good money on the wrong machine. Because here is what almost nobody buying an air conditioner this week actually knows. One of the most popular products on the shelf is not an air conditioner at all. Another will cool your room beautifully while quietly costing you 20 times more to run than the alternative. And a third simply cannot work in a normal British home no matter how much you paid for it. By the end of this video, you will know the 5 cooling products robbing Britain blind right now, the 5 that are genuinely worth your money, and the single number that tells you, in 10 seconds, whether the box in front of you is a bargain or a con. Because in a heatwave, the cooling industry is not selling you cold air. It is selling you panic, and panic is the most profitable product of all. Let me give you the number that frames the whole thing. The price you pay at the till is not the price you pay for an air conditioner. The real cost is the electricity, and in this country that is brutal. A typical portable unit draws around 900 watts to over a kilowatt, and at the current electricity price of about 26 pence a unit, that is roughly 20 to 40 pence an hour, 50 to nearly £90 a month with regular use. The Energy Saving Trust puts it bluntly. Running a portable air conditioner all day can cost almost 20 times as much as running an ordinary fan. So the cheap-looking machine you grabbed in the heatwave is not cheap. It is a meter that spins money out of your wall for as long as the sun is out. That is not bad luck. That is the gap between what these things cost to buy and what they cost to live with, and the people selling them are counting on you only looking at the first number. Here is the first thing you need to understand, because Britain is uniquely badly suited to half the products being sold to cool it. We are a humid country, and that single fact destroys an entire category of cheap cooler that works fine in Arizona and does almost nothing here, as I will explain. Our electricity is among the most expensive in Europe, so the running cost trap bites harder here than almost anywhere. Our homes were built to keep heat in, not let it out, with small windows and solid walls and no cooling infrastructure of any kind. And crucially, most British homes have casement windows, the kind that swing open on a hinge, while most portable air conditioners come with a window kit designed for the sliding sash windows you find in America, so the kit does not fit. Warm air pours back in around the gaps, and the machine you bought spends half its energy fighting the hole you cut for it. We are a nation buying cooling technology in a panic, for a climate it was not designed for, in homes that were built to defeat it. The result is a great deal of money spent badly, and that is exactly what this video is here to fix. I want to be transparent about how this was put together, because most of the air conditioning content online right now is affiliate links dressed up as advice, written to push you toward whatever pays the best commission this week. This is not that. It is based on 4 things: independent testing from consumer bodies, like Which, who actually measure how much these units cool and how much they cost to run rather than repeating the number on the box. The running cost data from Ofgem's published electricity prices and the Energy Saving Trust, so the figures here are what you will really pay. The standards that govern proper installed systems, including the F-gas rules that any real air conditioning engineer must legally hold, and the reviewers and installers who test these things in actual British rooms, with actual British windows, in an actual British summer, the people who know the difference between a unit that works on a test bench and one that works in a terraced house in July. No manufacturer paid for a word of this, and a few of them sell at least one product on the naughty list. Before the lists, you need to understand how cooling actually works, because the entire con rests on people not knowing. A real air conditioner is a refrigerator for your room. It uses a compressor and refrigerant gas to grab the heat out of the air and physically move it somewhere else, which is why every genuine air conditioner, portable or fixed, must send that heat outside through a hose out of a window or through a pipe in the wall. If a machine does not expel heat outside, it is not cooling your room, full stop. It is just moving the same heat around and often adding to it. That one rule, does it vent the heat outside, separates the real machines from the imposters. The second thing to understand is the hose. Almost every portable unit sold here is single hose. It blows hot air out of the window, which creates a slight vacuum in the room, which sucks warm air back in through every gap in the house to replace it. A dual hose unit draws its own air from outside to do that job, so the air you have paid to cool stays cool, and independent testing shows it can be 30 to 40% more efficient as a result. Hold those 2 ideas, vent the heat and mind the hose? Because they explain every entry on both lists. There is a third idea worth holding too, and it is the one the box is designed to confuse you about. BTU is the cooling power, the size of the engine, but watts is what you pay for, the fuel it burns. A clever unit delivers a lot of the first for a little of the second. A badly designed one delivers the same cooling while burning 2 or 3 times the electricity, and the only place that difference shows up is your bill, months later. Does it send the heat outside? Does it lose half its effort through a single hose and a leaky window? And how many watts does it burn? Get those 3 right and you will never be robbed. Here are the 5 robbing Britain blind. Number 5, the unbranded marketplace bargain. The no-name portable air conditioner from an online listing with a 5-star average and a suspiciously low price. The problem is not just that it is cheap, it is that the cooling figures are frequently exaggerated. The unit is often far too small for the room it claims to cool. There is no support and no spare parts when it breaks, and the energy efficiency is dreadful, so it runs constantly, never quite cools the room, and bleeds electricity the whole time. You have not bought an air conditioner. You have bought a noisy, expensive disappointment with a fan in it, and when it dies next summer, there is nobody to call. The cheapest unit is almost always the most expensive way to stay cool. Number 4, the window kit afterthought, and this one is a genuine British scandal. As I said, most portable units ship with a kit for sliding windows, and most of our homes have casement windows. So you get the unit home, discover the kit does not fit, and either stuff a towel around the hose or leave a gap, and either way the hot air you're pumping out comes straight back in. The machine works twice as hard for half the result, and you blame yourself rather than the manufacturer who sold a cooling product unfit for the windows of the country it was sold in. Worse, some premium units costing hundreds of pounds do not include a proper kit at all, expecting you to spend another £15 to £25 fixing the problem they created. A cooling system is only as good as its seal, and they sell you the system and quietly leave out the seal. Number 3, the power guzzler, the big muscular portable unit sold on its enormous output, where the small print reveals it draws 3,400 watts to do a job a well-designed rival does on under 800. Yes, it cools quickly. It also costs you 4 times as much every single hour it runs, which over a long heatwave is the difference between a manageable bill and a genuinely frightening one. These units win the showroom comparison, the big BTU number on the box, and lose the only comparison that matters, the one that arrives with your electricity bill in October. Power is not the same as efficiency, and the machines that shout loudest about the former are usually hiding the latter. Number 2, the cheap single hose unit bought a size too small, which is to say the most common air conditioner in Britain. There is nothing wrong with single hose technology in principle for our short summers, but the cheap end of the market combines that single hose efficiency loss with units that are deliberately undersized for the rooms they are marketed at, so they run flat out all day, never reach the temperature you set, and cost a fortune doing it. A unit sold as cooling a large living room that is really only good for a small bedroom is not a bargain. It is a machine designed to disappoint you efficiently. The fix is simple and nobody tells you. For a single hose unit, always buy one size up from what the room calculator says, because the inefficiency is baked in. And the number 1 product robbing Britain blind, the one that is not an air conditioner at all, the evaporative air cooler. These are the cheap, often very cheap units sold in supermarkets and online, frequently right next to the real air conditioners and described in language carefully designed to blur the difference. They do not have a compressor, they do not use refrigerant, and crucially they have no hose, because they do not remove any heat from your room. All they do is blow air over a tank of water, and in a dry climate that evaporation cools the air a little. But Britain is humid, especially in a muggy heatwave, and in humid air, evaporative cooling barely works at all, and worse, it pumps more moisture into a room that is already clammy, leaving you hotter and stickier than before. They cost very little to run, 3 to 5 pence an hour, which is the only honest thing about them, but that is because they are essentially a fan with a water tank, not a cooling machine. Sold honestly as a personal breeze for a dry day, fine. Sold as an air conditioner to a sweating British family in August, it is the purest rip-off in this entire video. So before I give you the 5 worth your money, I want to ask you something directly, and I read every reply. Tell me in the comments what you bought to survive this heatwave, what it cost, and whether it actually worked. because I suspect a fair few of you are about to realise that the thing humming away in your living room is on the wrong list. And tell me the worst cooling product you have ever wasted money on. I'm betting at least a few of you are going to say the words air cooler, and now you know why. Now, the good news, because there are genuinely excellent products out there, and you do not have to spend a fortune. Number 5 on the worth it list is the Honest Budget Portable, by which I mean a properly made single hose unit from a real brand, correctly sized with a window kit that works. UK names like Netta and Inventor sell capable units around the £200 mark that cool a normal bedroom perfectly well, include the features you actually use like a timer in a sleep mode, and do not pretend to be more than they are. They are a little noisier and a little more basic than the premium units, but they do the job honestly, and for a few hot weeks a year, Honest is exactly what most people need. Number 4, the Dual Hose Portable, for anyone trying to cool a larger or open plan room. This is the efficient version of the portable air conditioner, the one that draws its own outside air and keeps the cooling where you want it, running up to 30 or 40% more effectively than the single hose units. They are rarer here, bulkier and pricier, and for a small bedroom they are overkill, but for a big sunny living room, or a loft conversion that the cheap units simply cannot tame, a dual hose unit is the portable that actually wins the fight, and over a serious heatwave the efficiency pays you back. Number 3, the DeLonghi Pinguino, the premium portable that has earned its reputation over 20 years of refinement. This is the buy-it-once choice. The build quality is genuinely better. The chassis is well insulated so less of its own heat leaks back into the room, and the clever Real Feel technology watches both temperature and humidity to keep a room comfortable rather than just cold, which matters enormously in our damp heat. It is one of the more expensive portables, often north of £600, but it is the one still running smoothly in 2030, while the bargain units are long since landfill, and it holds its value if you ever sell it. You pay once properly, and you stop thinking about it. Number 2, the MecoCool, and if you are buying a portable air conditioner in Britain, this is very likely the name you want. Meco is the brand the independent reviewers trust above all others in this category, and the reasons are concrete. Its units are properly efficient, drawing under 800 watts where rivals draw thousands. They carry a good energy rating that keeps the running costs sane. They are among the quietest on the market at barely above 50 decibels, and, almost uniquely, they include 2 window kits in the box so the casement window scandal does not apply to you. There is a model for every room size. The newer ranges are quieter still, and at around £400 for the mid-size unit, it is the rare product that is both the expert pick and the sensible buy. If you want one machine that simply works, this is it. And number 1, the product that is worth the money above all others if you are serious about cooling, a proper fixed split system air conditioner. Yes, it costs more, £1,500 to £3,500 for a single room, professionally installed by an F-gas certified engineer, and a cooling-only system needs planning permission, so it is a real decision rather than an impulse buy. But understand what you get. It is dramatically more efficient than any portable, running at roughly 7 to 20 pence an hour instead of 20 to 40, because the clever inverter compressor sips power once the room is cool, rather than running flat out. It is whisper quiet indoors, it cools the room properly every time. And here is the part most people miss. Almost every modern split system is a reversible heat pump, which means in winter it runs backwards and heats the room, delivering 3 to 5 units of warmth for every unit of electricity, often cheaper than your gas central heating for a single room. The big names, Daikin and Mitsubishi at the top, Panasonic and others for value, all do this well, and the quality of the installation matters more than the badge, so choose your engineer as carefully as your unit. There are a couple of honest catches worth knowing. It does not qualify for the £7,500 boiler upgrade scheme grant, which is only for the whole house air-to-water heat pumps that replace a boiler, and from this year the noise rules on the outdoor unit have tightened, so siting matters. But over 10 years, the machine that cost the most to buy is comfortably the cheapest to own, and it heats your home in the bargain. If you're going to cool the same rooms every summer for the next decade, this is the only option on either list that genuinely ends the problem. One honest word before the rules. On a merely warm day, 22 or 23 degrees, none of this may be necessary at all. A good fan costs pennies an hour, and closing the curtains on the sunny side of the house while opening the windows at night does most of the work for free. The Energy Saving Trust's 20 times figure means a fan is the right answer far more often than the cooling industry would like you to believe. Reach for the air conditioner when it is genuinely hot, not merely mild. Here are the rules. Write them down. Rule 1. Before you buy anything, ask the one question that matters. Does it vent hot air outside through a hose or a pipe? If the answer is no, it is not an air conditioner, it is a fan or an evaporative cooler, and you should only buy it knowing exactly that. Rule 2. Size it properly, then for a single hose portable size up by 1, because 7 to 9,000 BTU suits a bedroom, 10 to 12 a living room, and an undersized unit will run forever and cool nothing. Rule 3. Check the wattage on the box, not just the BTU, because the wattage times. The hours times your electricity price is what you will actually pay, and a difference of 2,000 watts is a difference of hundreds of pounds over a summer. Rule 4. Check the window kit fits your windows before you buy, and if you have casement windows, either choose a brand that includes a proper kit or budget for a fabric seal. And Rule 5. If you will use cooling for years, not just one panicked fortnight, price up a fixed split system, because the sums change completely once you stop renting cold air by the hour. Now the arithmetic, the bit that decides everything. Option 1, the panic buy. You spend £200 on a cheap single hose unit or, worse, an evaporative cooler, and across a few summers it costs you £50 to £90 a month to run, cools the room poorly and dies in a couple of years, at which point you do it all again. Spread over 5 years, you can easily spend more on a string of disappointing machines and their electricity than a proper system would have cost. Option 2, the sensible portable. A MecoCool or a DeLonghi at £400 to £600, efficient, effective and still going strong years later, with running costs kept as low as a portable allows. Option 3, the long game. A fixed split system at £2,000 to £3,000 installed that costs a third as much per hour to run, lasts 15 years or more, heats your house in winter and adds value to your home. The cheap machine is the expensive one again because the sticker price was never the real price. The real price is what it takes out of your wall summer after summer. So here is the bottom line. In a heatwave, the cooling market does not sell you cold air, it sells you relief from panic, and it charges the most for the products that deliver the least. The evaporative cooler that is not an air conditioner, the guzzler that empties your bank account, the bargain unit that cannot cool the room it was sold for. These are not accidents. They are what happens when a desperate, sweating public buys in a hurry without knowing the rules. Now you know them. Ask whether it vents outside, check the wattage, not the boast. Size it right and seal it properly. And if you are in this for the long haul, buy the proper system once rather than the wrong one 3 times. Stay cool by all means, but do not let them charge you a fortune for the privilege of staying warm. If this video saved you from a costly mistake this summer, subscribe so you never miss the next one, and send it to anyone about to panic buy a cooler in the heat. That is all.